Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, once again, Mike Martins. Thanks for joining me. And what is happening, guys? There's actually quite a bit that's happening right now. And you're starting to see the smaller populated Canadian provinces go through financial turmoil or financial... It's not just in Vancouver and Toronto, or I wouldn't say Vancouver. I would say the 100 and 200 mile radius outside of Vancouver and 200-mile radius outside of Toronto is suffering and being gripped with affordability issues. And we're seeing it happening in New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, parts of Quebec, where people just can't afford to get the basic necessities anymore. And it's very sad. I watched the Canadian debates, and I covered it here on the channel, and I was very upset how they didn't cover housing affordability issues, foreign buyouts, selling out to foreign investors, money laundering, $200 billion worth. They're not discussing things that of important, opioid crisis, homeless crisis. We're seeing a massive tent city being taken down in Edmonton, Alberta. Right now as we speak, they reassembled somewhere else, and now it's being taken down 2 days later. What's the deal here? What's the end game? Now, look at Saskatchewan. 56% of Saskatchewan residents have 20K or more consumer debt, says accounting firm. This is kind of a big deal because, remember, Saskatchewan is in the heartland of Canada, and a lot of these people are bread baskets. They not only, a lot of it's like, oh, they just do potash there. No, they do more. They do lots. We export, we're a breadbasket, right? So this is very important. Even to our dairy and stuff is all, we have a huge, Canadian farmers or Canadians living in Sask have a lot of vested interest, not only in their safe keepings of I'm just saying they're getting the short end of the stick is what it is, and it's not fair. That's why we're having Wexit, where Western Canada just says goodbye to Eastern Canada and says Merry Christmas, creates a border, and then that's it. We create our own currency from that fiat currency that's in existence, and we create our own stamp and our own, what are you going to do about money? It's not a problem. We can just go crypto if we have to, like worst case scenario if we don't have anything in place. 56% of people in Saskatchewan carry $20,000 worth of non-mortgage debt. Now, you're saying, Mike, what is Canada having to separate with people going into debt? A lot of people are going into debt to eat, guys. A lot of people are going into debt for basics. They shouldn't be going into debt for this stuff, right? The highest amount of consumer debt paid per capita Canada, according to the accounting firm BDO Canada. Consumer debt includes things like car loans, lines of credit, and credit cards and other kinds of debt. The idea is there's stagnant incomes right there. Stagnant incomes. Wages haven't moved since 1972. Since we basically were unpegged from the gold standards, and our banks became more and more deregulated, and the banks run amok with us, making it hard for private sector businesses, farmers in this case, producers, people that are highly productive, not getting paid for what they're worth, right? Incomes are not increasing as fast as the cost of living, said Janice Brown, Senior Vice President of BDO in Saskatoon. Carrying debt load can feel overwhelming. Let's read it over here. 54% of people have $20,000 or more worth of consumer debt. If you go back to 1981, hand to God, the average Saskatoon person probably had $20,000 in average in savings in 1981, and that's equivalent to about $70,000 in today's money. So you're seeing the big balance of the balance take over, right? Capitalism, I'm 100% because it does work, but if wages don't stay within inflation, capitalism is broken. It doesn't work. Capitalism works if wages stay within line of inflation, and they haven't in 40 years. When people extend on debt, their disposable income is not there. Well, then they lower interest rates and put you into more debt. Increase your borrowing capacity. Not saving capacity, but borrowing capacity. Brown also said that a third of Saskatchewan people report being overwhelmed by their debt, paying it off. Brown said the most common mistakes she sees in debt repayments is a lack of budget and income planning. So, guys, set up your own total debt service ratio. There's a TDS calculator. It's called TDS calculator. It doesn't matter what country it's from. Just fix in the amount of money you have, amounts you earn net. Gross means nothing. And put all your expenses in your... I had a TDS calculator up here. I'm going to put one back up for you guys to see what it looks like. Calculate and see how much money you have left over for food. And then go from there. Right? Starting with fixed costs like rent, mortgage, property tax, vehicle payment is the easiest way. It gets more difficult to budget when a person's income is not fixed, she said. People also often forget to ignore costs of expenses on things like garbage. Grabbing. Well, garbage, you pay for garbage disposal too, but things like coffee on the way to work and getting a snack at the convenience store. What? So people, what? Now they have to hold back on living a basic life? This is basic life. Grabbing a coffee. So what? Now people can't go get a coffee? No, people should be getting coffees. People should be making more money. Not more money, but their money should go further, is what I'm trying to say. They got to put regulations back in banks and stop deregulating the banking system because now everybody's getting screwed, right? So, like, grabbing a coffee, what? So, we live in a first world country, and you want to take your vehicle to pick up a coffee for $2. You can't do that? You gotta be kidding me. So they're massaging people into believing that living in the third world, us turning into the third world is normal now. That we should be more green. Those types of things that are repeatedly my clients come back and tell me, oh, I had no idea how much I was spending there. But you should be able to treat yourself to coffee every. You go slave your work. You can't slave every day at work, and you can't spend $2 on a coffee. We got ourselves a big problem. What difference is that from a worker working in a sweatshop in China somewhere? What difference is it? They don't have money for coffee either. So what's going on here, guys? If things have gotten bad, Brown recommends doing lots of research and finding professional help of a licensed insolvency trustee. So here it is, guys. Let's go for, right here. Let me look up for you guys a TDS calculator. This one has LTVs. You could use this. This one looks like, this one's for getting a mortgage, so that won't work. Let me see here. Calculating TDS at CMHC. Okay, we don't. There's one that actually lets you put in all your debts, and then it calculates it for you. Here it is. Is this the one? No, it's not this one. See if I could find you guys a TDS calculator. Okay, so I guess you put your outstanding debt. Oh, this is no good. This is just... I want one that breaks down your auto payments, your car insurance. Oh, here we go. Annual mortgage payments. Then it tells you property taxes, other debt payments, annual gross family income, total debt service ratio. That tells you without food, though. I want one that actually allows you... it allows you to actually calculate your TDS. I've done it many times on the channel, right? Here it is. This one tells you surcharge. No, this is crap. I'll find something. Credit card calculator Canada. Here it is. Oh, credit card, monthly amounts, additional payments, first minimum monthly, fixed monthly payments. This one doesn't have enough either. This is just credit cards. Never mind. Calculating TDS. I'll find one. I'll see if I can find one, guys. I've put one. Go to my channel. Just type in TDS. I'm pretty sure if you go to my channel here, just type in TDS. Maxed out. What's your TDS? Yeah, if they allow, Vancouver's maxed out. What's your TDS? That's from 3 years ago. TDS ratio, total debt service ratio. Yeah, it's kind of important that we kind of discuss these issues because this is what's the problem here. Housing crisis TDS story. I'm just trying to see if I could find. Anyways, here it is. Here, guys. Saskatchewan consumers' debt crisis as trade war stings, more homeowners fall behind on payments. So homeowners in Saskatchewan, and this is a crucial part of our country because it actually provides substance to the rest of the country. Because BC sold a lot of its farmland in the lower mainland with the good climates that allow us to plant certain things year round to foreign investors. They bought farms 100 times over asking price to build these ugly mansions on them. These ugly mansions on these properties, these lands, so they could look big for the 20 or 10 years they have left in their lives. It's like, I don't know, guys. Anyways, more homeowners fall behind on payments. Saskatchewan households are showing signs of mounting financial distress as the province suffers from a prolonged bout of economic weakness, compounded by global trade war that has taken direct aim at its key exports. I think a lot of Canadians are suffering. It's you know why they don't sell. It's like why we throw more food away than we consume, why we throw more food away than we sell, because people can't afford to buy it. That's why they throw it out. There's stuff that Saskatchewan produces on a daily basis we as Canadians could consume and prosper a better lifestyle, but because a lot of us can't afford it, it gets sold to other countries, right? So anyways, guys, that's it right there. I'm not going to pay the Globe and Mail for fake news. I just want to get your opinion on what you guys think. Guys, don't forget to go to my channel. If you want to support me on Patreon with $1 a month for coffee, and you're just supporting my coffee habit, go ahead and buy me a coffee. And if you want to throw me a tip in the tip jar over there up here on PayPal, go ahead and do that if you like. Thanks so much, guys. Big hug to everybody. And don't forget to share this video from Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, Regina. I've been to your province many times. I've stayed at the big, grand, old hotel in downtown. That looks like an old castle by the water there, by the river. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thanks for watching.